Hello everyone, and once again welcome to my channel Engineering Made Simple. Now, as you all know, we are studying computer communications networks. Now this is our third lecture from this course, and in this lecture we are going to study about the TCP/IP network architecture. Now, in this lecture we will learn the TCP/IP network architecture. Now, before studying the TCP/IP network architecture in detail, I would like to give a brief overview of the TCP/IP network architecture. Now, what was TCP/IP network architecture? The TCP/IP network architecture is a set of protocols that allow communication across heterogeneous networks. Now, what was the objective behind developing a new network architecture, namely the TCP/IP network architecture? In this TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol and IP stands for Internet Protocol. Now, the TCP/IP architecture was developed to facilitate communication between three heterogeneous networks or diverse networks or different networks, namely ARPANET packet switch network, a packet radio network, and a packet satellite network. Now, one more important thing to note here is that the TCP/IP protocol suite or the TCP/IP network architecture was developed before, that means prior to the Open System Interconnect or the OSI model. Now, the TCP/IP network architecture does not require strict layering as shown in figure 1.1b. That is, the application layer has the option of bypassing the intermediate layers. This point will be clear when I will show you the diagram. But one thing to note here is that when you studied OSI model, it had strict layering. That means it had 7 layers, as you all know, from application layer to physical layer, and one layer cannot skip the intermediate layers. Now this is not the case with the TCP/IP network architecture. Now, as you know, here it is given what it is given here is that the application layer has the option of bypassing the intermediate layers, whereas in the case of OSI model, a layer cannot bypass the intermediate layers or the layers immediately below it. So the TCP/IP network architecture does not require strict layering. This will be much more clearer when I will show you the diagram. Now, the TCP/IP is a hierarchical protocol made up of interactive modules, each of which provides the specific functionalities, but the modules are not necessarily interdependent. Now, the earlier point is explained here more clearly that uh, they are not TCP/IP is a hierarchical model which provides interactive modules, but one can skip the functionality, but it can skip the functionality of the intermediate layers because the modules are not necessarily interdependent. That means it does not require strict layering. Now I will show you the diagram. Now, figure 1.1a shows the 4 layers of the TCP/IP network architecture. Now this is how the TCP/IP network architecture looks like. Now figure 1.1 shows the TCP/IP network architecture. The TCP/IP network architecture consists of 4 layers, namely application layer, transport layer, internet layer, and network interface layer. Now similarly in figure 1.1b, all the 4 layers are shown. But if you look at this diagram carefully, you can observe that the application layer can run directly over the internet layer also, or the application layer can directly run over the network interface layer also. So what does this mean? That this model does not require strict layering. That means the application layer in the TCP/IP network architecture or protocol suite has the option of bypassing the intermediate layers, which are transport layer and intermediate layer, and can run over the network interface layer also. So that is what I had explained in the uh, previous slide, where I was giving the overview of the TCP/IP network architecture. Now, figure 1.2 shows the data transfer from machine A to machine B. Now, machine A is in network 1 and machine B is in network 2, and both the machines are connected using the TCP/IP network architecture. So, as you know, as we had seen earlier in the case of OSI model also, so machine A has 4 layers, as TCP/IP is a 4-layer model, and machine B also has 4 layers. Now in between, to switch between two networks, we know we need some router or gateway, or some intermediate nodes. So the first 2 layers of the TCP/IP network architectures are used in the router or gateway, to connect between the two diverse networks. So this is the primary function of the TCP/IP network architecture. Next. Now let us study about the layers in the TCP/IP network architecture, starting with the first layer, application layer. Now, the application layer in the TCP/IP network architecture performs the tasks performed by application layer, presentation layer, and session layer of the OSI model. Now, the most important thing to note here is that the TCP/IP network architecture was designed or developed before the open system interconnect of the OSI model. But in order to develop a proper understanding of both the models, the TCP/IP network architecture is often compared with the OSI model, and then its properties or its layering on its architecture is explained. So now, interesting thing to note here is that we have said that the application layer in the TCP/IP network architecture performs the tasks performed by the application layer, presentation layer, and the session layer of the OSI model. Now, what did the application layer do in the OSI model? It allowed access to network resources. The presentation layer, what it did, it allowed to translate, encrypt, and compress data. Now, what did the session layer do? It was a dial-up controller. So it establishes, manages, and terminates the session. Now, the application layer in the TCP/IP network architecture also performs similar functions. Now, next. Now, the application layer provides services that can be used by other applications. For example, protocols that have been developed for remote login, email, and network management. Now, this point is very much clear from the diagram which I had shown earlier. The application layer programs are intended directly to run over the transport layer. Now we move on to the next layer, which is the transport layer. Now, what does the transport layer do? The transport layer in the TCP/IP network model uses two protocols to provide services, namely Transmission Control Protocol. It allows reliable transfer of byte stream of data in a connection-oriented network. Now, what do you understand by connection-oriented network? That both at the transmitting end and the receiving end, connection is first set up, or the connection is first set up and then data transfer happens. User Datagram Protocol is the second protocol used in the transport layer of the TCP/IP network architecture. It facilitates best effort delivery of data with the, what do you mean by the term best effort delivery? That means it will try its level best to deliver the data, but it will not perform any flow control or error control in while transmitting the stream of data. So it is an unreliable data transfer which is provided by using user datagram protocol. So this is what is given over here. It facilitates best effort delivery of data without any flow control or error control mechanism in connectionless oriented network. What do you mean by connectionless? Now, connectionless means the sender and receiver does not set up a connection, or does not set up a proper path for the data to be transmitted. It is transmitted without any connection efforts being done, both at the sender end and at the receiver end. Now, UDP, that is the user datagram protocol, and TCP are the transport layer protocols which are responsible for delivery of message or data packet from a process to another process. So as you know, the TCP or the transport layer in the OSI model also deal with the process to process delivery of the data packets. So here also in the TCP/IP network architecture, the TCP and UDP are the two protocols which are responsible for delivery of message from a process, which is nothing but a running program on a computer, to another process. Now, another protocol that is used in the in the transport layer of the TCP/IP network architecture is the Stream Control Transmission Protocol for newer applications such as voice over the internet. Now it is also the job of the transport layer to look after or to recover lost packets during transmission process. Now we will study about the third layer of the TCP/IP network architecture, which is the internet layer. The internet layer performs the task of transfer of information across multiple networks through the use of gateways and routers, as shown in figure 1.2, which I had shown to you earlier. Now next, the internet layer performs functions similar to the network layer of the OSI model. Now what functions did the OSI network layer of the OSI model perform? First important function is it was dealing with source to destination delivery of the data packets. Second, it was dealing with routing of data packets from source to destination. And third important function which it performed was of congestion control to avoid congestion of packets within the network. So now next, the same thing is mentioned over here. It deals with the routing of packets and performs congestion control. So the same functions it performs in the TCP/IP network architecture as well. Now the internet layer in the TCP/IP network architecture makes use of internet protocol. The internet layer provides best effort delivery connectionless transfer of internet protocol data packets known as datagrams. Now, no need to get confused over here. So, in the internet layer of the TCP/IP network architecture, which makes use of internet protocol, the data packets or the information bit stream which is transmitted from sender to receiver is known as datagrams. So, datagrams are nothing but it is a technical terminology used for data packets when they are transferred using internet protocol. Now, another important point here to note that it provides for best effort delivery. Best effort delivery meaning the sender will not, the internet layer will not perform any error correction or flow control mechanism on the datagrams or the data packets. And what do you mean by connectionless transfer? So before transmitting the datagrams, the internet layer will not set up a connection between the sender and the receiver. It will transfer those datagrams using connectionless transfer mode. So IP in turn uses four supporting protocols. Now these four supporting protocols we will study in detail later. And now I will just name them. First one is ARP or Address Resolution Protocol. Second one is RARP, that is Reverse Address Resolution Protocol. Third protocol is Internet Control Message Protocol, that is ICMP. And the last is Internet Group Message Protocol or IGMP. Now let us study about the last layer of the TCP/IP network architecture, namely the network interface layer. Now the network interface layer is concerned with network specific aspects of the transfer of data packets. Now next, it performs functions similar to data link layer and the network layer of the OSI model. Now what did the data link layer of the OSI model do? It did framing, error control and flow control. And network layer, what it did? It dealt with source to destination delivery of the packet across multiple networks. It performed flow control and congestion control. Now next, the network interface layer deals with protocols that access intermediate networks. So basically, the network interface layer is what it does is it sets up protocols or properties of the intermediate networks that are responsible for connection of two communication networks in present in two different networks. So as I had shown in figure 1.2, the network interface layer setups the properties of the gateway or router or the network interface or the intermediate networks which are responsible for connection of two networks. So at each network gateway, the network access protocol encapsulates the IP packet or datagram into packet or frame of the underlying network. So basically, in simpler terms, network interface layer deals with the with setting up of properties of intermediate networks, which play a crucial and the most important role in connecting two heterogeneous networks. So network interface layer, according to me, is the most important layer of the TCP/IP network architecture. So this particular approach only separates the network interface layer from the internet layer. Now what does the internet layer do? It is only concerned with the source to destination delivery of the data packets. It performs best effort connectionless data transfer. I am talking about the internet layer. But what does the network interface layer do? It also helps in source to destination delivery, but it is also involved in setting up of the intermediate nodes or intermediate properties of the gateways or routers which connects the two networks. So this is the most important property. So this is what is given over here. Now with this we come to an end of today's lecture. Now recommended readings for this course, computer communication networks are. Now, if you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Click on the bell icon to get notification of all my latest uploads. Thank you.